Today we're going to talk about torsion bars. They can be confusing, and we're going to try to break down the basics and what to look for, the different grades of torsion bars, and give you a better understanding so you can make a more educated purchase. When we're talking about the Chalkstix brand, there's 3 grades of torsion bars at the sprint car side: a Chalkstix, a Stix 2, and a Chalkstix Maxx. Regular Chalkstix that we would have here, it's like any tubular torsion bar that's been around for 20-25 years. It's the material starts as a tubing, it's machined, heat treated, straightened, and this is a tubular bar. So the material, it starts as a tubing. This material has been used by all the torsion bar manufacturers for decades. The magic of this bar in any quality torsion bar would be in the heat treat process. The second torsion bar is the Stix 2, and it is a gun drilled bar. And so what we mean by that is this material can is only available in a solid. So in order to get it in a hollow state, they have to gun drill it. So literally drill a hole through the material. A lot of people think this material is more advantageous, a little more robust, lasts a little bit longer, and this torsion bar would be more expensive because they have to drill it. You can't get it in a tubing. The third chalk torsion bar is the Maxx, and it is the same bar as the Stix 2 as far as a material and manufacturing process standpoint, but it has an additional metallurgy treatment done to it that gives it kind of that polished look. And if you look at this under a microscope, and the idea behind this was this polishing process to the material would get every little imperfection out of the bar. Now in the Schroeder line, I only have 1 bar up here. They look very similar, but they also have a tubular bar and a gun drilled bar, and the main difference is the material that's used to manufacture that bar. So the tubular bar, again, that material starts its life as a tubing, and then it's machined from there. The gun drilled bar is a solid that they have to make it hollow. Well, we have customers from locals to World of Outlaw teams that win on both manufacturer bars that we sell, Chalk and Schroeder, and also each grade. What I recommend is don't mix and match, because when we dyno them, there's a slightly different curve and a different amount of rebound based on the bar. And as most of you know, Chalk and Schroeder are owned by the same company. They're manufactured in the same place in Kokomo, Indiana. So what's the difference, right? Is it just a different color tube? Well, it's not. When Schroeder was acquired, wanted to keep making that torsion bar to Gary Schroeder's specs and the processes that he'd put in place when he sold the company to Pack Spring. And so that bar, although it starts as the same material and it's made in the same building, there is a slightly different process where the heat treat spec is slightly different, and these bars get shot peened where the chalk bars are annealed, so the straightening and final processes are slightly different, and it does result in a slightly different torsion bar. Which one's better? We get that all the time. Is a Chalk better, a Schroeder better? What I tell teams is if you've built your setups based around the Chalk bar, stick with that, or if you've built them around the Schroeder, stick with that, because the bars are slightly different, and it could throw a wrench in your program if you just switch torsion bars. Now, if you're searching for a different feel, maybe you would consider a manufacturer change at that point. But as far as one being better than the other, it's kind of like, do you like chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? They're both good. It's what you prefer. As far as a quality and consistency standpoint, we've seen great quality and consistency in both bars, and a lot of repeatability. So it's really what your personal preference is.